There are some things in my life that I've experienced that I decided to not publicize because everything is not meant for public consumption. Some things are meant to be felt, experienced, and enjoyed offline. This past weekend was one of those weekends. One thing I know for sure is that a phone, although it may capture the moments, you can never really capture the feeling. That is something that is internal, and that is something that is always going to carry throughout your entire life. Even if you don't have a picture, even if you don't have a video, you have that feeling to hold on to. So this past weekend, me and my daughter decided to just hop in the truck and just drive to LA. And there's beauty in just saying that. I have manifested my life in such a way that I can say, hey, let's hop in the car and drive to LA. While something so simple can seem nothing, like nothing to someone else, to us, that is a big deal. I had my daughter in high school. I come from poverty. I didn't know that I could travel the world, much less move to California. What? Yeah, right. So to be able to say, hey, let's just go to LA. We're not going to care about the gas prices. We're not going to care about a schedule. We're not going to care about time. We are going to be fully present in this moment. We are not going to talk about the past. We are not going to talk about the future. We are going to be fully immersed in what we are experiencing. So Friday we took off. We hopped on the road. And while our intentions were to take the Pacific Coast Highway, 4 or 5 hours in, my daughter says, when do we start seeing the pretty shit? And we laughed only to realize we took the wrong route. And GPS does not take you down the Pacific Coast Highway. And you have to manually do that yourself. Point to point, to the next point, and to the next point, and to the next point. So we get to LA, and one of the very first places that I wanted to go was Manhattan Beach. You see, this time last year, I traveled to LA for a business meeting, and I had this whole idea that this was going to be the thing that changed my life, and this is how we were going to get to move to California, and we were going to have this California experience, and everything was just going to be perfect. Only to get stood up, didn't have a business meeting. I spent all of my money. I barely had money to eat, so I stayed in the hotel. And then I finally talked myself into spending $12 on an Uber. I go to Manhattan Beach. Never been there before. This is my first time in LA. I'm by myself. I'm sitting on the beach, a mask over my face because, pandemic. My Ray-Bans on, and I'm crying my eyes out. Because I've been so great at manifesting my life that this time it didn't feel like it was going to happen. I couldn't see how I was going to make this come to fruition. What I thought was going to get me to LA just stood me up. And I had no real means of getting there. I was barely making ends meet on my own. How the hell can I move to California? I can barely afford Austell, Georgia. So I cried my eyes out. No one was around. It was okay. I cried my eyes out on that beach. And then I got up. I walked around in the water. And I found me some tacos that I could afford. Came to like $8. And I only had maybe $2 left over for a tip. I felt hopeless in that moment. I paid for my food. Called an Uber back. and went home, and I think I spent the next few months in a state of depression. So it was important for us to go back to Manhattan Beach. So I no longer can think about crying on the beach. Now I can think about living in abundance and walking on Manhattan Beach with my daughter and my dog after we just had tacos and left a $55 tip. Now I've created new memories. I've replaced the old ones, the bad ones, with new ones. So then we go to our hotel at LAX, wake up the next morning, we go to Fashion District, and then we're like, hey, let's go to Venice Beach. But somehow we ended up on Crenshaw, taking pictures of walls and shit. And then I'm like, hey, let's go to the Hollywood sign. So we did that. We took pictures. We experienced the hills of Hollywood. And then we went to Santa Monica Beach. I put on shorts and a tank top. And if you know me, then you know I don't do that. So we're on the beach, got my dog, got my daughter, and I'm just taking it all in because that teenage mom that lived in poverty, that always just listened to her heart and flowed to the rhythm of her intuition, she now lives in California and can drive to Santa Monica Beach whenever she wants to. There is power in your thoughts, and there is power in your words. And then we got in the car, and then we headed up the coast. It was Saturday night. We weren't going to get another hotel room. No. We're going to find us a campground, and we're going to park, and we're going to sleep in the truck. We are currently sleeping in our truck at a campsite. This was her idea.
Yay! So fun!
So when you look outside, next video will be outside. Because we're creating memories. Memories that not only will I take with me forever, but memories that my daughter will also take with her. Because none of this other shit matters. Shoes, clothes, designers, that shit don't matter. Quality time matters. Memories matter. Experiences matter. Conversations matter. So it was very important for us to go and create these memories together. Not worried about gas money, not worried about food money, not worried about anything but being fully immersed in the present tense. And there was really no other way for me to share this experience with y'all than to make it into a video. A reel can't do this justice. A social media post that probably nobody's going to see anyways, it's a waste of time. But I had to realize that creating these videos on YouTube, they're not for no one else. They're for me. They're for Karina, my daughter. And then as time goes on, they'll be for my grandkids. You see, because if no one ever watches it, it still fulfilled its purpose. So if I could end this, I would say, get out. Get out of your house. Get out of your town. Get out of your head. And go create memories with the people that you love the most. Yeah, take pictures and take video, but be fully immersed in the present tense. Feel everything that you need to feel. Find beauty in the life around you. Find beauty in the people and the things around you. Find a reason to be grateful for just breathing, because that's enough. And I really hope whoever is listening to this or watching this, I hope you get out and create some memories offline, because none of that shit really matters. The likes, the followers, the attention, the comments, the shares, none of that shit really matters. The only thing that matters is what you are creating and what you are leaving to your children. That's it. the experiences, the quality time, and the love they feel, that's all that really matters. Thanks for watching.